today is the word scrutinize, which means to examine carefully. I have 13 questions and they're all about leadership. And the reason I chose that topic is because we have club officers elections next month. First, I just want to get, Ross, would you like to go first since you'll be leaving?
Sure.
Okay. Ross, a number between 1 and 13.
I'll go with the lucky 7.
Okay. What is difficult about being a leader? What is difficult about being a leader?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. For me, the most difficult thing about being a leader is actually 2 things. 1, setting an example, which is difficult to do. We've seen so many leaders that are, do as I say, not as I do, and we know how well that works or how well it doesn't work. So, and being a leader for the first part is leading by example. And I know that we're always under scrutiny for being a leader, that you have to do things properly and you have to follow the laws and do everything. It's setting an example that generally you might not want to do. And then the second thing that I see being a leadership is finding the correct path. It's the vision to see something that's going to lead to a better outcome than doing something that's either going to be mundane or it's going to be lead into problems. But leadership is seeing a vision of whether it's a path or a method or a way of something that's better and improved and easier. And if you have those 2 things where you have a vision of imagining or creating something that's not the usual, and then you have the characteristics where you can lead by example, those to me are the 2 important characteristics of being a leader. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Great job, Ross. And we can all follow Ross's example of using the word of the day. Okay, who would like to be our next table topic speaker? And I think everyone will get a chance. Any takers?
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you, Nakama. Okay, Nakama, a number between 1 and 13.
I'll take 10.
10, okay. Define leadership. Define leadership.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, I was asked the question, I was asked to define leadership. That is not an easy question. And it's because it is not, leadership is not one thing and one action. When I started as a principal, I read a lot of books and I attended a lot of PD's, professional developments, that is to learn about leadership. There was so much talk about having a vision and guiding your team, having them follow you. And I beat myself up. I wanted to have that vision. What is my vision? I didn't know what that was. And it took me years to learn and discover that leadership isn't one thing that one person does or an action or a set of different things. It really depends on what it is you're affecting at the end of the day and how much change you're impacting, how much positive change you're impacting. You cannot change, I learned, anyone's personality, but what you can do is impact a change in their behavior and based on what you do. And at the end of the day, create an environment that the team would be more conducive in doing their work, students being able to learn, team members going home happy, not 100% all the time, you know, but the main thing is in leadership that I learned is regardless of who goes home unhappy, regardless of how many times those people, no matter what you do and they are still unhappy or still find problems, you have to keep going. You can't stop, you can't give up, and you have to put those people ahead of your own thoughts and ahead of your own of what you thought is best. If you put team first, to me, that's leadership. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Great job. Okay, who would like to be our next table topic speaker?
I'll go.
Okay, Glennis.
I'll have to time me.
Oh, okay. You
Or
want
I
me
can
to
time myself. Actually, I have the app right here.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So Glennis, a number between 1 and 13.
Number 1.
Okay. What makes a good leader? What makes a good leader?
My fellow credible communicators and Mr. Table Topics Master, I've been asked the question, what makes a good leader? Good question. I believe a leader would encompass a lot of different qualities that would help them to be what people consider a great leader. They'd have to be empathetic. They'd have to have listening skills. They'd have to be able to deal with people in general. I look at some people, not necessarily leaders, but I see people in roles that they probably shouldn't be, like customer service. Some of the people, the rudest people, have customer service jobs. So just relating that back to a leader has to be someone that's relatable and able to deal with people. And additionally, I feel like we're all leaders. It doesn't matter what role we have. We function as a leader on some type of level, and we should all work to incorporate the skills that I mentioned, like empathy, being able to deal well with people, be relatable with people, be open. And I'm losing the word I want to say, be approachable. That is a big one that I'm thinking of. So in short, I think we all can encompass that and we can all be leaders. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Great job. Okay, who would like to be our next table topics speaker?
I can go.
Okay, Shehu, a number between 2 and 13.
13.
13, okay. Is it dangerous to be a leader? Is it dangerous to be a leader?
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmaster. The question is it dangerous to be a leader? That's a very interesting question. I don't think it's dangerous to be a leader. It's just a position where you as a leader has to be very, very careful, because many people are looking up to you and they are looking at what you are doing, following your example. So it's very, very important that you watch what you are doing, and not just only in open, also in secret, because whether you know, people will scrutinize your life, whether you are alive or after you are dead. So those things that you do in secret might come out after you are gone. So people that are looking up to you will be very, very disappointed that you are living a double life. And in that way, they might not trust anymore, or they might not look up to people anymore. So you have to be very, very careful when it comes to being a leader. People are watching. You want to live a life that is the same what you are showing outside with when nobody's watching you, integrity, and things that are valuable to people that look up to you. So it's not dangerous being a leader. It's just good to be the same. What you portray to people outside, be the same when nobody is watching, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Good points. Okay, who would like to be our next table topics speaker? Okay, Tamika, a number between 2 and 12.
I'll choose 12.
Okay. What is the difference between a leader and a bureaucrat? What is the difference between a leader and a bureaucrat?
Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters. I've been asked the question, what is the difference between a leader and a bureaucrat? I feel that a leader is one that definitely leads by example, who sets the pace of the things that the way things should go in an organization. A leader has to have a vision, and a leader has to carry out and think about encompass the whole team. It's not just a one-sided thing. Whereas a bureaucrat, I feel like they're in it for themselves. They look at things very one-sided, and they're not trying to lead a team. It's all about themselves, and maybe even sometimes even about money or things like that. I feel that a leader is one where you have to strive and think about the different people that you're leading, and you're leading in a way that's encompassing a team. Whereas a bureaucrat, I feel like they're just one-sided, and that they just really not focusing in on the people. They're just focusing in on maybe the whole entire economy or things like that. So I feel that being in a leadership role, I feel that things are, I've looked at things a lot differently, and that leaders definitely are one who carry out the vision, and they lead by example. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
There you go. Okay. Nor, would you like to do one?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a number between 2 and 11.
8.
8. Okay. Have you thought about being a club officer? Have you thought about being a club officer?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, I have been asked if I have ever thought about being a club officer. Honestly, I have not, because I just entered the club. So that's one obvious reason. But also, I kind of have this fear within me that my parents like to mention a lot, and just people that are close to me like to talk about, that I'm just kind of afraid of stepping up or trying new things, because I'm always second guessing myself or thinking of what could possibly go wrong. Because I feel like if I look at all of the scenarios in which something can go wrong, and I think, oh, it could happen, I feel that I am safe. But then it also discourages me from stepping up to something, because I feel, what if I'm not qualified enough? What if I mess this up? What if people are looking to me to do something like Shehu said, and I'm not following through with it? So I whenever I'm trying something new, I always kind of go through this battle in my head of like, you know what, you should just go for it. But then on the other hand, I'm like, but what if you mess up? So I'm trying really hard to break through this barrier, and being a club officer might be one of those things that I just do one day. And I definitely want to try to get to that level where I can just go for something and stop second guessing myself. So thank you, fellow Table Topics Masters. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm blanking. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters.
That was a beautiful speech.
Not at the end though.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so it looks like we have time. Shehu, you want to pick a number for me?
Sure. What about 7?
7, okay. So I'm going down to 9 because 7 and 8 are both taken.
Okay.
Does being a leader make you a better person? Does being a leader make you a better person? Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. Yes, I believe being a leader makes you a better person because you have to think of others. And that's probably the main thing of being a better person is you're thinking of others. It's easier not to be a leader because you try to be good. You do a good job at what you do. But when you're a leader, you're considering other people and how to develop them. And you realize you have to be an example to them. And you realize you're under more scrutiny than you would be otherwise. And you just have to become a better person. And I've found that's something I found out through experience in Toastmasters is by being a leader in Toastmasters, it's made me a better person. You can try, everybody wants to be a better person. Trying to be a better person directly only gets you this far. But when you're a leader, it gets you a lot further without directly trying to be a better person, but just trying to be a good leader, you become a better person. Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay. I think we still have time because we don't have if anyone wanna take a second one, you're welcome to do that.
I wanted to just kind of qualify Steve's question.
Yeah.
Because the question was, do you think leaders become better persons, correct? But is a good leader a better person? Because you can be a bad leader,
Yeah.
makes you a better person.
You are right. Yeah. Yes. That is.
And if you're a bad leader, you're not thinking about people.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah, I think Steve got the one that I was not expecting. So
They're all these questions are hard to me. So.
But I think he's implying by being a leader, you're automatically good. If you are a, what was I going to say? Because if you're not good, you're not a leader.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
You have to have that good in you in order to become a leader. Forget good or bad.
Yeah, right.
But some people are put in leadership positions and they are considered leaders. And
they're not leaders.
Yeah.
They're just people with titles. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's something Simon Sinek always says and writes about, is that you can have a title attached to your name, but it doesn't mean that you're a leader. You're only a leader as much as you act upon it and you do for others. That's how you become. I mean, and I think Lena said something about, you said about you all hold leadership roles, right? You said that.
Yeah.
No matter what, like if you're a mother, you're a teacher, you're a sister, anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even your coworkers. I mean, depending on how if you lead by example, I mean, there's just certain things you do. You act as a leader. You don't have to have a title. Yeah, I believe that. But I just wanted to make sure that just because leader.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I think if we still have anyone that want to try, we can still do one or two before we move to the next part of the meeting, because we already did the evaluation of
Oh, right.
each.
I'd like to try another one. I'd like to use the word of the day this time.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. Nagam, give me a number
Um,
between 2 and 11.
I'll do 2.
Okay. Who is a good leader that you have served under? Who is a good leader that you have served under?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmaster, I've been asked the question, who is a good leader that I have served under? The minute you asked that question, Steve, I thought of someone. I had a lot of principals over the years that when I was a school teacher myself, that I put under scrutiny many times, because there's so many things that you look for in a leader that weren't there. That one principal, however, that I thought about, she only served as a principal for 1 year, unfortunately, but I learned so much from her. And the most important character that I found in her, that I adopted myself and took part of me, became part of me as a leader, is her humanness. She, before having to deal with paperwork and deadlines and grade books and this, she was a human being. She understood that there's a lot of things that happen during the day that could distract a teacher from doing certain things. She was very understanding. She had a lot of empathy, and she had that in her to ask questions before making judgment and going to the grading system, or writing an evaluation before asking a question. She has never done that before, and I love that part about her. And I vowed that when I become a person responsible for other people, that I am going to first become a human being and treat my staff members as human beings before I turn to the paperwork, all the robotic things of the job. And that I still remember. It's been years, but is one of the great things about her. And I will always be that person. And I'll always teach it to my staff members. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Great. Job. Looks like we have a little more time if someone else would like to do one. Okay. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster. Mr. Toastmaster.
I was going to say I can
Oh, right, great, Glennis. Okay, Glennis.
myself to use the word of the day, because I generally
Okay, good, Glennis.
nervous and forget what it is. But
Okay,
it's scrutinized, right?
right. Scrutiny or scrutinize, any form of it. And give me a number between 3 and 11.
Number 3.
Okay. What experience have you had as a leader? What experience have you had as a leader?
My fellow credible communicators, I've been asked the question, what experience have I had as a leader? As I mentioned in my previous table topics, is that I think we all have a leadership role at some point of our lives, or at some level, maybe every day throughout our lives. I remember in a previous speech, I mentioned how when I was younger, the teacher said, oh, Glennis is a leader. Because of my good citizenship, I was quiet in class and didn't do much. But that criteria kind of changed. I was scrutinized a little bit differently. And in terms of what was a leader was different. I can tell you, I've been in a lot of leadership roles. I've been what's called a team lead. I've been a project lead. I've been a product manager. I'm currently an integration manager. And others, I've been an office manager. I've been an officer of a bank. So I've had a lot of different roles, which could be termed leadership roles, but as we just discussed, that really doesn't make you a leader just having that title, but it's actually setting the example, having empathy, being able to relate with people, and that's what makes a person a leader. So to answer the question in short, I think I'm a leader every day. Back to you.
Okay, great job. I thought these were all hard questions and everybody did a great job. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, I'm just going to move to the next part of the meeting. We've already done the evaluation, but we still have some things to do, like calling on it. So Tamika, just hand over the meeting to you to call on the timer and our counter report.
Am I supposed to do the general evaluation or?
Yes.
Okay. I felt that the overall flow of the meeting went well.
Yeah.
I felt that the table topic,
Tamika,
yeah.
you just the timer, you call the timer.
Oh,
report.
I call the time. Okay, sorry.
That's fine. That's
Okay, I always forget that part. Sorry. All right. That was Glennis. Okay, could you give us the time for the meeting or the table topics and
Yeah.
I guess the individual speech.
Okay. There was one speech with so Steve, you have her time. And maybe mute Ross.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Steve, do you have Nagam's time for her speech?
Oh, yes, 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes exactly. Great.
Yeah, yes.
All right. For the table topics, Ross was first, 1 minute and 31 seconds. Nagam's first table topic was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Her second was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. My first table topic was 1 minute and 33 seconds, and my second was 1 minute and 34 seconds. Jehu's table topic was 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Tamika, 1 minute and 42 seconds. Noor, 1 minute, 40 seconds. And Steve, 1 minute, 26 seconds. Yeah, I was getting a little nervous when Nagam was giving her first table time. It's like she's gonna be 30 seconds over. I was 2:30, but she stopped at 2:20.
Wow, good, good.
So back to you, Tamika.
Okay. All right. So now do I do the general evaluation?
I'll
The
count
call
her.
on the outcome there.
The outcome of, I just tell the outcome of the meeting?
I'll count her.
I counter.
Oh, the I count. Oh,
That's
was I supposed to do the I count? Because I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, I call on the person. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, yes.
Okay. Who was the I counter?
That was me.
Okay. Noor.
Okay. Sorry, they're like mowing the lawn out, so I'm in the hallway just trying to get away from all the noise. Okay, so for Nagam's first speech, there were 2 ahs, and I started counting like repetitions of phrase. So like you would like pause and then repeat what you just said, and you would say that a lot. So I started counting those. So there were 2 repetitions. For Ross, I didn't count any. For Nagam's table topics, there was 1 and then 1 repetition. For Glennis, there was 1 and. For Shehu, there was 1 1 and then 1 and. For Tamika, there were 3 ahs and then 12 ums. And for myself, I couldn't count them, but I know my crutch words and I used those. They were, and.
Well, I counted yours.
Okay,
So
good.
I can, and I only counted 1, and that was, you said I.
Okay. And for Steve, I didn't count anything. For Nagam's second table topics, 4 Oz, 1 and 3 repetitions. And for Glynis's final table topics, I didn't count anything.
All right. Am I calling on anyone else at this time? Are we finished? Okay. All right. So for the general evaluation, I felt that the flow of the meeting went really well. There was time after the table topics for light discussion, and I felt that the table topics for today were very appropriate when to hear the different views on leadership. I enjoy hearing the different views on leadership, and I missed the prepared speech today, but I'm quite sure that that went well today too. So I felt that the overall meeting was a great meeting today.
Thank you, Tamika. Great job, always. Thank you for doing the general evaluation, bro. And you did a wonderful job. Okay, at this point, this is 5:22. Do we have any success story?
Noor has one.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Wait, I do?
Exhibit Noor.
Oh, I mean, I didn't like give any. Oh my God, it's still really loud out here, but I don't have any other options. So, I didn't really give any speeches, but I had my my senior thesis exhibit this Friday, and it was basically like a culmination of all of our work that we've been working on for like the past 4 years, and we all presented it. For those of you who don't know, I go to an art school, and I'm a fine arts major. So it was very good. Pretty much my first show. So it was a great experience. I had a lot of great conversations with people, and the main topic, the main idea of my work, it was about Orientalism. And I referenced a lot of the work of Edward Said, who is the person who coined the term Orientalism. I have his book right here, actually, lots of tabs. But it was a great experience. And the show is also still up. You guys can see it this Saturday, and then it's going to be up for one more Saturday. And the reason it's only on Saturdays is because we have to have gallery sitters because of COVID. So they're trying to make sure that there's only a certain amount of people there. It's on 333 Midland Street, and I can put that in the chat for anybody who wants to see it.
good, good.
Are they doing virtual tours like?
So after everything's down, we're gonna have the marketing team come in and take pictures of everything, and it's all gonna be put on a website. But
Okay.
we still don't have the website link yet. If we get it, then the next meeting I will put that in the chat.
Okay, great.
Thank you for sharing that. Any other success story? Okay, if we don't have any, just a quick one. I'm Ross. I know if you can hear me. Thank you for joining, and thank you for always finding time to pick up a role. We really appreciate that. You have something doing, but you still find the time to join the meeting. So thank you, Ross. At this point, I'll be turning it over to Glenys to fill